How are you today? Okay. Alhamdulillah. First and foremost, I would like to thank you to Mr. Sani Tantanadian SPD for giving us the opportunity, time, and class. Also, I want to thank you for all of you for attending this class in a happy and healthy condition, I hope. So, today's presentation will be talking about technical translation. Before we continue our presentation, I would allow us to introduce ourselves. We are from Group 6, and my name is Muhamad and Yusup, and my friends here is Reksa, Aditya, and Nugraha will be the speaker, and I will be the moderator, and Taufiq and Alhadid will be the speaker. So, next. Here are the contents for today's presentation. The first one is introduction, the second one is technical style, the third one is varieties of technical translation, and the fourth one is technical and descriptive terms, and the fifth one is beginning technical translation, and the sixth one is relation method, the next one is the title, the next one is going through the text, last but not least is the conclusion. Okay, so do you know what is technical translation is? Okay, since everyone is do not know. So technical translation is a type of translation that focuses on very specific topics like science, engineering, medicine, and technology. Unlike translating stories or general information, technical translation needs to be exact because even small text on the information can change the meaning of important information. The translation job is to make sure the text is clear and factual, without adding extra emotion or creativity. For example, in English, technical texts often use simple structures like the present tense and passive voice. For example, the process is started by. The main goal is to make sure the translation is accurate and easy for the reader to understand, no matter how complex the topic is. Next. The next one is the style of technical translation. Technical translation needs to be direct and simple. This means translators often remove any pointless language, jokes, or metaphors, which are comparisons that can be confusing, or fact language. And for example, a French phrase is like, I don't know how to say it, but you can see it. So that sounds fancy. That sounds fancy, but it's unclear. So it could be translated into clear English as the 3 stages of this treatment. Technical translators also need to make sure that they are using the right terms or words for specific subjects. And so this can be hard because technical fields often create new words or called neologisms that might not exist in other languages. So translators often do a lot of research to make sure they understand terms correctly, and sometimes common words even have different meanings in different fields, like polite, which means something different in textiles versus wood. Translators also have to look carefully at the text or the specific area they are working in to pick the right meaning. Next. The next one is types of technical language. Technical language can be broken down into different levels depending on who will be reading it. In scientific settings, experts use formal words like, you can see it, and for a freezing, that is for a freezing temper or freezer. In workshops, simple terms like compartment refrigerate are more common. Everyday language uses terms like deep freeze or freezer for a general audience. Medical language works similarly, but academic terms are more formal, and professional terms are for healthcare workers, and popular terms are words the public knows like mumps or chickenpox. I was also don't know that. But the main job of a technical translator is to make sure the text is clear, accurate, and easy to understand for the specific audience. This means carefully choosing terms, knowing the context, and keeping up with new words in the field. Technical translators simplify complex ideas without losing important information, adapting their language so that everyone can understand what's being communicated. So, and the next one will be explained by Taufiq. Rahman, please.
Alright, thank you for your time. So today, so now we talk about technical and descriptive terms. So when translating, the common challenge is to decide how to handle technical and descriptive terms. Writers in the original language or the source language as help, and sometimes use descriptive terms to talk about technical objects for a few reasons. Reason number one, the object is new and has not yet got a name. Number two, the descriptive term is being used as a familiar alternative to avoid repetition. Number three, the descriptive term is being used to make contrast with another one. In most cases, the best translate technical and descriptive term is the way that makes the type in the target language. In other words, keep technical terms technical and descriptive terms descriptive. So don't make descriptive terms as a technical. Just show up your knowledge and at least can take away from the original natural meaning. And still talk about the technical and descriptive terms, but however, there are exceptions. If the writer of the original text used a descriptive term by mistake or because they didn't know the right technical term, or if there's no equivalent technical term in the original language, you may use technical term in the translation. This is especially true if the object is unfamiliar to the original culture but well known in the target culture. The next one is the study case. For example, imagine you are translating a medical text from Japanese source language into English, target language. So in this Japanese text, the author used descriptive term breathing machine, or who can say the word here in Japanese? Instead of technical term, because the writer might not familiar with the present medical terminology, however, you know that in English, the proper term of this device is ventilator. So a breathing machine, you can translate it to be a ventilator. In this case, you can translate breathing machine to ventilator, and since ventilator is well known in the English speaking in medical context, using it would make the translation more accurate and clear for English speakers. Next. Alright, now beginning the technical translation. The main goal of translation is to grasp how things work and their function. So this approach emphasizes learning language of the subject rather than becoming expert in the field itself. So when translating, it is important to see the big picture of what is happening in the text. So in science, the language is concept-centered. In technology, it is object-centered, and in production, is engineering. It is important to know the basic terms and their translation, like dead, blood, flame, bone, etc. And we can use diagrams from resources like Oxford Illustrated Dictionaries. If you are confused about the word, you can use Oxford Illustrated Dictionaries to help you understand what each part looks like or how it's made, what it does, and how it says. Now the translation method. So when translating a technical text, first you read it to understand the content and identify the difficult word, then evaluate the style, how it's persuasive or informational, and the next is format the translation aligned with the style of technology report or layout by client or its journal articles. Use the style of relevant publication. So in translation, every element is significant and important. Word, number, function, composition, and publication details. For example, if you are translating journals, section like kajian medis in Indonesia or penelitian dan temuan asli in Indonesia, use equivalent English terms like medical review or original research paper. And keep author's name On the titles, you take to respect the original context, so you may add translated terms in footnote if they are particularly relevant to the readers. Okay, the next one will be delivered by Reksa.
Okay, thank you. So, next is the title. Of course, as a translator, you need to change the title of the bibliographies or diaries you need to make. So the first is title adaptation in translations. Commonly, there are two types of title. First is descriptive and allusive. Well, allusive is used for something like non-fiction. In non-literary text, descriptive titles are usually best for clarity, especially in scientific context where stating the subject and purpose is crucial. Scientific titles in the source language may be longer than typical English titles and often need simplified. The goal of the procedure should be prioritize over technical details to make the text coherent for readers. And the next step is terms and names. As a translator, of course, you should watch for false friends or words that look similar but differ in meaning. And check common terms with multiple meanings like internet or dosage to ensure accuracy of your translation. Titles, city names, and institutional names may need adaptation like Shepherds to head of clinic or Basil to Basil or Hazelnut to Hazelnut to make them clear and familiar in English. So you need to check it again to familiarity so the reader will coherent and comprehend the translation more easily. And this precision allows readers to engage easily and locate authors if needed. Next is going through the text. Before starting a technical translation, it is essential to identify potentially unclear terms, particularly specialized ones in Latin or Greek roots, and avoid pointing new terms unless necessary. Translators should double-check numbers, figures, and symbols for accuracy, as even minor errors can affect meaning. Structuring sentences naturally in English may require rephrasing and choosing terms that best convey the intended meaning rather than following word-for-word translation. Finally, adjusting the tone to match the intended application is crucial. Examining similar publication can help ensure the translation aligns with their style and expectations for clarity and professionalism. So, the conclusion of this thing is, when you're translating, make sure that your translation is easy to comprehend for the readers. And finally, we are in conclusion. So, in conclusion, technical translation should start with bibliographies, graphs, and diagrams to ensure accuracy. Clarity is more important than the exact wording, especially important written originals. Staying updated through terminology bureaus and current data sources is essential. And while terminology matters, it is a small part of the content. Thus, refining unclear writing is crucial for delivering a polished, authoritative translation that meets audience needs. That's all for me. I'll go back to Yusup and give back to Muhamad.
Okay, so maybe that's all from our presentation. Thank you all for listening, and I'm sorry if there is a mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.